And welcome back to another week of The Take. I'm Bill Gannon.
I'm John Spinato.
And tonight's guest, you want to introduce him?
Len Matteo is here with us tonight, folks.
He's representing the Ronald McDonald House in a Dancing with the Stars, which has been pretty popular coming, in the last couple years with Dancing with the Stars, with all the celebrities and all that. And this is a charity going to the Ronald McDonald House. And if you could explain a little bit about that.
I'd love to, Bill. Thanks for having me.
No problem.
Ronald McDonald House has been a great organization. And some people know about it, and some people really don't know what they do. So briefly, there's a lot of families all over the country, even out of the country, that come to New Haven hospitals for specialized treatments, and usually kids. And these families have to stay multiple days to get treatment. And besides that challenge and stress of an operation, the stress is also, where am I going to stay? And they can't afford housing or hotels. So thanks to the fundraising efforts of Ronald McDonald House, they provide that housing and hotel. So it's only like $100 a night, but those families can even afford that. They don't expect families to pay maybe $15 a night. Some families can't afford that. But the great thing is, Ronald McDonald House doesn't turn anybody away.
Excellent.
They're there, and their fundraising efforts help that. And it really is a special night, and it's for the kids, and we really enjoy that.
Right. How'd you get involved in this?
Well, believe it or not, for the last several years, I've always been the outside looking in. I attend this event every year. It's a great showcase. They get local people involved, and just to see, and they, just like the TV show, Dancing with the Stars, they do it in a local effort. For months, people train with a professional dancer, thanks to Dance with Rhythm in Branford, Connecticut. Both Karen and Sue do a great job, so I want to give a mention to them.
Oh, absolutely.
DanceandRhythm.com, because they give up their time to teach guys like myself, or anybody who has no professional dance experience, to do a routine. And they go in front of these 600 people to sell out every year, and they do 2 separate dances. The audience gets involved, they vote on it, and at the end of the night they'll select a winner, but the real winners are the kids, because we're all team players. Even though we're competitively dancing, we do it for one cause, to help Ronald McDonald House for the kids, and they'll need to raise another $400,000 this year, and they'll do it with this event.
That's excellent. And this is 6th annual, so it's been a few years.
Absolutely. So when you say getting involved, so this past year, one of the board of directors, Larry Lazaroff, said, Len, why don't you come on the other side and try it? So I said, why not stretch your comfort zone? But you know what, when I look at it, what these kids go through, I was blessed with 3 healthy kids myself, a healthy grandson, so you know how fortunate you are. So just to stretch to do a dance, what's the big deal? You know what I mean? I could even pull a hamstring and be fine. But the thing is, at the end of the night, we have a great team of business people in the community, which I'd like to mention who's going to participate this year. And then we're going to have fun. It's March 6th. So March 6th at the Omni Hotel. For ticket information, you would just call Ronald McDonald House at 203-777-5683, or go on their website, ronaldmcdonaldofconnecticut.org, and you'll find it, the information. But this year, celebrity dancers, we have David Candido, from the owner of David Julian Hair Salon, Christina Ciciola, she works for the Community Foundation for Greater New Haven, Melissa Daniele, the owner by Body and Fitness and Pilates, Joe Ladori, who's a lead singer of Mean Carlene, myself, partner of Edge Technology Services, and Eddie Verapapa, owner of Leon's Restaurant. But I have to just give a shout out for the dancers that are helping us, because we have great partners, and from Dance with Rhythm, and they're Lily, Jose, Alex and Pat, Griselle, Linda, and my partner Tanya, and believe me, they have great patience with us, and they're excellent dancers, so it's really worth it that night.
That's good. Sounds like a fun time for everybody.
It really is. It really
Gil
is.
Simmons is
Gil Simmons
that night?
is the MC, and they have celebrity. They'll have judges. I think Tony Rosigno from the Greater New Haven Chamber is one of the judges this year. I think Sue from Dance and Rhythms, one of the professional dance judges as well. And I think Jocelyn Mamenta from Channel 8 is also going to be one of the judges. And like I said, and the audience is a judge. They get to vote for they'll have 2 categories, a smooth and rhythm category,
Yeah.
Yep.
and they'll have a fan favorite, and so at the end, it's a fun night.
Right.
Now, is this one of the bigger fundraisers that Ronald McDonald House has?
In Connecticut, it is. It's one of their premier events, because what it does, it gets people exposed to Ronald McDonald House. When they have other fundraisers, they give. Because they have, if you go on their website, you'll see all the ways you can donate for this community, whether it's
Great.
clothes or furniture or whatever, and they're accessible that way.
Right.
Wonderful.
So I'm glad to be part of it. So this time I'll be on the other side, but next year I'll be on the back cheering somebody else on.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it's good you're stepping up for the kids. That's nice. Yeah. Like you said, you have 3 healthy kids and a grandson, right?
And
So,
that's what counts. I'm sure
Right.
everybody feels the same way.
Absolutely.
These dancers too, they said the same thing. You know,
Yeah.
we're lucky, we're fortunate, we could walk on that dance floor. So
Right.
and the kids are there too. That's the other thing. They bring the kids there, so they're like the stars of the show as well. So it really, it's really a special event.
it is, to see them there and see how,
Yes.
you know, you're actually donating, touching their lives and doing the things that you need to kind of help the next
It's a way to
families or
give.
whatever.
It's a way to give back. It's a fun way to give back.
Absolutely. Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
That's not bad at all, so.
And it's March 6th, Friday, March 6th.
Friday,
Friday,
March
March
6th,
6th,
6 o'clock, Omni Hotel. It is a sellout every year. We don't say that because it truly is. And I know they have still tickets available, but they're selling out fast. And once it's sold out, it's sold out.
Well, it's a great cause. So, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people are jumping on board and just to come out and have a good time.
It really is.
Yeah. And, you know, you're helping everybody, these kids out and families in need, too, because being a kid in the hospital, the last thing you want to be there all alone. You want your mom or your father or something like that.
And you don't want the parents to worry about where am I going to stay, and it's a lot of stress involved.
It's a lot of stress just having your child in the hospital, much less everything else that's compounds the
you
problem.
make it and it's a friendly home too. It's not like a hotel. It's almost like a home away from home. That's what everybody calls it. I mean, they served last year over I think it was almost 3,000 nights of 107 different families. That gives you an idea how many people take advantage of it.
Yeah.
And they're right on George Street. It's a beautiful yellow house, and
I've seen it. Yeah,
it really does. They do a great job. It's a great organization.
That's tremendous. Absolutely.
Yeah, that really is. So.
Yeah. It's heartwarming, Len. I appreciate the fact that you were able to...
well, we appreciate you. We appreciate you having us here today, and on behalf of Ronald McDonald House, I'm proud to be part of it, and I'm sure they're all appreciative that you had us here tonight, too.
We're welcome to do it. And John had spoke to us. John got it going, got the ball rolling for us, and we were all on board. So, absolutely.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
More than mine, but that's wonderful.
Hey, and best of luck to you on the dance.
Thank you very much.
Right.
We got 2 votes for one of the fan favorites.
There we go.
Right.
Absolutely. But we're going to go to the, if we can go to the, we're going to put that on the TV, the actual poster of the night, so you guys can to see that right now.
Take a quick look at it.
Yeah, we'll do that, a little glimpse right there, and that will go to there. And you know, it kind of gives you all the information of what you guys need to do. And like again, we say that's Friday, March 6, 2015. That's at the Omni Hotel, right down, easy exit off the highway too. It's right there, so it's a great thing. So, but. We'd like to thank you again for coming on, and we appreciate it. So
thank you, guys. I really do. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Luck to you.
Thanks, Billy. John, thank you.
It's great that you're doing this for the kids. So thanks
you
again. So and we're going to be double A. We got standing by there, and he's on deck over there.
All right.
Are you ready to come on?
Sure.
Sure. Here he comes.
All right. Whenever you're ready.
Okay. I'll just put my hand down and we'll go from there, all right? Okay. I'm John Spinato, and this is The Take. I'll tell you, this is the Spin Doctorial. And let me tell you something. I just got done with a conversation with Mike Puma with the New York Post after he wrote an article about the Boston and New York sports teams. And I'll tell you one thing what's going on right off the hop. Let me ask you a simple question, though, first. How's it feel to get beat up by your little brother? How's it feel to get punched in the face by your little brother? Well, that's what's happening now between the Boston and New York sports teams. Right now, Boston, the little brother, is actually wailing on the big brother, New York. When you consider since Y2K that Boston has won 9 world championships, while New York, The big brother has won only 4. You say, well, that's not much of a beatdown. That's not that bad. 9-4, not that bad. Yeah, consider this. Boston only has 4 sports teams. New York has 8. I'll tell you, my allegiance lies to New York. I don't know where yours lies. I'm a Yankees, Giants, Rangers, Knicks fan, and I'm not happy about it. I tell you, we used to laugh about it years ago about the Giants, about the New York and Boston sports teams, saying, well, really not a rivalry between Boston and New York, especially with the Yankees and the Red Sox. The big joke was, how can you have a rivalry between the dog and the fire hydrant? Well, hardy har har, the shoe's definitely on the other foot right now, and I'll tell you, Boston is wailing on New York. And I'll tell you another thing, too. I'm from the battleground state of Connecticut, which I'm sure a lot of people watching right now are. And I'll tell you, I got 2 questions when I hit the pillow at night. Number 1, did we win? And number 2, did they lose? How do you feel about it? We want to know. Just contact us, tweet me up at Sicilian Message. We'll pass the information on a little later. Contact Bill Gannon on Facebook with no problem at all. And we want to hear what you have to say. John Spinato for the take, and that's my spin doctorial.
And we're back now with Double A is in the house, right? Yeah. So we're happy to have you. You're joining us tonight. So you had to sit on deck for a little while, but
that's okay. That was an important cause.
That's an important cause. Absolutely.
Yeah,
you
support
everything with
we
kids.
can, local, anything like that.
Absolutely.
Especially for the kids.
Absolutely.
Heavy support.
Absolutely. And you brought your son's helmet.
Got the Wallingford Vikings here with us tonight.
That's it. So,
yeah.
And pretty soon you're going to be donating your Gronkowski jersey, right?
2 Gronkowski jerseys and an Odell Beckham jersey.
That's
brand
not
new.
bad.
Wow. Yeah, we're going to have a little raffle going on.
So
we're going to see how many people want to help the Vikings get some new uniforms, help out youth cheerleading and Wallingford youth, youth football.
I'd like to, talking about youth football right now, I know you said that Pete Somecki's kind of joined the crew over there, and he's on deck and all on board again. He was great with Yalesville baseball over there. I'd like to say that Pete Somecki's father had passed away.
Yeah, yesterday morning.
Yesterday morning. So our condolences to the Somecki family. Mrs. Somecki was always great to me when it came down to Holy Trinity down there with the catechism, all that. She's been running that for a long, long time and did a great job. I went to school with Scott Somecki, so went to school with him back in Rock Hill School a long time ago, and Pete, of course, I knew through Yalesville baseball, and then with Sheehan football last year. So our condolences go out to the Somecki family, and I also want to say our condolences also go out to the Beckert family. Mr. Beckert passed away, and my buddy Jeff, his father, and everything. So just came from the wake, and I'd like to do a little shout out to him, Charles Beckert. Passed away, so we're definitely good guy, and we'll definitely miss both of them. So, but and John here, we have Ash Wednesday, right?
Ash Wednesday. They found me.
They found you, right? Yeah, that's what I
smudged him. They smudged him.
That's it. They smudged me big time. They were waiting for me when I walked in that church.
It's good to see that, though. I like that. I love Ash Wednesday, seeing all the people out there with the ashes on and all that. Because I think there's one thing, and it's terrible right now. I know that it's almost like I know they're talking about it on the O'Reilly Factor, and they were saying that there's kind of it's almost a war on religions right now, and it's kind of going, it's kind of getting bad, and that's the thing. I think that we always almost have to step back. We're the ones that are always taking the back pedals. We can't always say what we want to say because there's always some kind of issue with it or whatever, and it's just, I don't know. It's good to see that you're proud of your religion and whatever one it is. I think that's the point I want to make, is that be proud of your religion and just go out there and support. So
just like they say, the common denominator in all of them is be good to one another and love the one that you believe in.
Absolutely.
So there's
just
no
respect
real
somebody else's
religion. Just respect somebody else's and go for it.
And that's it.
And hopefully, you all have some sort of an afterlife, and you're well taken care of for whatever you contributed to this life.
Absolutely, that's the whole
thing. I don't know what more else you could say with a non-denominational point of view.
That's true.
Yeah.
And speaking of respect, we have to go to you, Double A.
That's right.
Double A, is that right?
You're going to ask me. What's my take on that?
That's your take on that? Yeah.
That's right.
So we'll ask you about A-Rod. A-Rod came out and apologized the other day and said an apology, heartfelt. Is it? You think he was? You think he's genuine
Sure.
about it? Yeah.
It's genuine, but he's late for lunch.
So you're not accepting it, huh?
No, you know what it is? They cover themselves up for so long with this lie. They even lie to themselves pretty much about it. And
it is.
It's an addiction.
Illusion.
Oh, that's exactly.
It's just as bad as any other drug addiction you have is what you put in your body. Because those guys that are massive bodybuilders, they don't even feel big because they're looking at Mr. Universe and guys who are 300 pounds and 7% body fat, but they're only 250 pounds at 3% body fat, and they're I don't feel big.
Right.
You know what I mean? So they keep going for this. In his case, it's performance, but it's also a body thing too.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure it had a lot to do with it. Yeah, no,
I'm saying that you look a certain way in the mirror to yourself, and you want to keep improving your body.
Right.
But with those guys, they were doing more studies on the stats, and there was some inflation in home runs from it in general.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, there's a lot of other changes where the roids weren't really directly responsible for it. There was certain guys that were really good at hitting the ball that just could push it a little farther.
Right.
Like Barry Bonds, for example. He's the prime example of a great hitter who got a big boost.
Right.
Well, I think you have those certain hits that, you go to certain parks and you can see that the home runs are down because you get to a park like Colorado or whatever, and all of a sudden they get the thin air and the ball doesn't travel as good.
And Larry Walker was jacking him out.
He's jacking him out.
Larry Walker became a Hall of
hitting
Famer.
like 400 yards. I don't want to say yards, but 400 foot. Bombs, and it's crazy to see those. And you look at the
Tell you what, though, I
there.
saw Darryl Strawberry jacking him before 400 plus.
But he had a sweet swing.
A lot of guys did. Look at Ken Griffey Jr. swing too.
But Griffey, I don't think he took anything.
I don't think he did either. That's what I'm saying. Some of these guys could hit 50.
And I don't think Strawberry did. I don't think
he
was on everything else. But I think
he was straight tendon, that guy.
Oh yeah, no. If you saw him, he had a nice
incredible
fluid
bat
swing.
swing.
It was unbelievable.
Incredible bat speed too.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about how great he was.
He really
was.
was.
That was
him
his
and
chance,
Gooden.
boy.
That was a waste of talent.
He could have been 10
Sort of.
times better than he was.
They performed and they did their thing. It wasn't like they were a 3-year wonder. Then they bounced themselves out of sports. We just found out what crazy partiers they were later on.
Yeah.
Then you saw Darryl when he didn't look so good.
Yeah.
He looked like he was eating powdered donuts with Pookie.
That was it.
Oh yeah. No, but that's tough. I mean, I think these are examples that the kids are seeing now. And you look at a guy like him. Both of them are young. They both started very young. They came up, and it was like one of those things that they were fortunate enough to have the talent.
Yeah.
And I think that's what my point is that they had such great talent. Yeah. You knew that they had longevity.
You can get away with it.
It was just their thing that their
even
party
Lawrence
habits
Taylor.
took it.
Lawrence Taylor, he still gets forguveness to this day.
Yeah, I know.
And he's turned out to be way worse than we all thought. But
right.
It's so funny. Certain guys can't tarnish their legacy, no matter what they do.
Right.
And there's other guys who one major thing or one the wrong thing.
Yeah.
It's like now you're wondering, can they ever be as great as we thought they were?
But those
Adrian
guys
Peterson could be one of those guys.
Well, the Mets,
in
if
New
you
York.
look at the Mets, though, the Mets, the way they started out, they had the great opportunity to have Dwight Gooden be a phenomenal Hall of Fame pitcher.
Yeah.
And he kind of fizzled out, and that's where the whole franchise followed behind it.
Yeah.
Once Gooden couldn't really deliver, Strawberry really wasn't there. I think the Mets, with the amount of talent they had, they could easily have won 4 World Championships.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, that's not exaggerating.
No, it's true.
Yeah.
Even with Keith Hernandez back, they could have had more.
They had Carter. I mean, they had Carter, Hernandez, Strawberry, and Gooden. And they had Mookie. They had great role players.
With that team.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. That was like the 81 Edmonton Oilers.
I mean, they had a lot to offer. And I think the reason why Lawrence Taylor gets a hall pass is he actually won championships.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's one thing about New York. If you win championships, all is forgiven. But if you don't win the championship and you're not really that great of a guy, they don't want you.
Well, that's what I was going to say. It was like, Gooden, Strawberry, they were New Yorkers to begin with. They started there. So people kind of loved them. They fell in love with them.
Right.
So they always have that little I guess, that little leeway that they can do something a little wrong and
little
then
wrong.
kind
Like
of
Joe Namath, you get a little bit of the
Joe
Broadway
Namath.
Joe.
Yeah.
He's known to be a partier, or even say Mickey Mantle or guys who used to go out and slam him down. You know.
Yeah.
But it's okay. No, nowadays you get a DUI on the wrong franchise, you get released.
No, you do.
Yeah, they're looking for you now.
But A-Rod was a guy coming into New York. He didn't start in New York, so I think that he didn't have the foundation.
Nah,
if they'd grown with him,
That's a good
maybe
point.
if he was,
Yeah.
maybe they would let him go. But now,
It's funny that he's tied to Griffey too when they were on Seattle together in Buhner.
Yeah.
And back then, those three guys were like murderers row for a while
Yeah,
too.
they were.
Who else they had?
Randy Johnson.
Who was their
With
first
Edgar
baseman?
Martinez.
Yeah.
Yeah, Edgar Martinez.
Edgar, that was a
brutal.
great,
They,
great
people still
Tino
think he
for a
should be
while,
in the Hall. And they had Tino for a year.
Didn't they have Randy Johnson too?
Yeah.
And Randy Johnson, yeah.
We're coming up with another team that should have dominated for years.
They
But
should
they
have won
let
a
it.
lot
They had a
more.
fire sale. Let everybody go. They thought they had enough.
And they
that's
played
the
in a little
problem.
dinky park. They could have really raked it in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they could have hit millions of home
I think
runs.
Buhner might have hit the sauce
He might
a
have.
little bit. He
Yeah.
got bigger and
Yeah.
you know,
Oh yeah.
more home
yeah.
runs came.
They were getting bigger.
that was
and bigger.
well, that was when everybody had their guy on the team, or at least a couple. They were
Yeah.
hitting 450-foot shots like Dave
Yeah.
Kingman used to do.
Yeah.
They weren't even like taking full swings. It was like half swings.
How about the guys on the A's when they had Canseco, McGuire?
That's
I don't know
when
if
it
we're
all
ready to
started.
Flash
Kingman.
Brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah, McGuire and Canseco were taking roids back then.
Yeah.
I'll never forget, I was at a championship game between the A's and the Red Sox in 1989, and the Boston fans were chanting steroids when Canseco got up.
Oh yeah.
89.
89.
He kind of knew though.
You can, really?
Because his brother, he has a twin brother that was. He didn't have half the body.
No,
Ozzy,
no.
I think it was, right?
Yeah.
He was like, yeah.
Kind of like the Giambi brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
One little
exactly.
porky
Jeremy.
dude, and the other one blew out his
Jeremy.
neck, exploded. You know, it's funny. I saw Jason Giambi after he got busted,
Yeah.
and he claimed he had an intestinal infection
Yeah.
or something, so he
Yeah.
lost like 30 pounds.
Right. Yeah.
He had to quit cold turkey.
But he admitted it.
I know he admitted
Yeah.
it, but what I'm
Yeah.
saying is he didn't explain why he deflated in front of everybody really quick.
Yeah.
I saw him standing
Yeah.
at first base. I was at a game where I was on the first baseline. His neck was like a pencil in his warm-up jacket. I was like, that's not Giambi. And he turned around, it was friggin' Giambi. I couldn't believe it.
Wow.
He went from such a full face, like blown-up guy to just like, and like within like a spring training.
I
And
remember that, right from spring training
Yeah.
from last year. They said, what happened to you? Where'd all the weight go? He goes,
Yeah.
I stopped eating fast foods or something like that.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
yeah.
said he had an intestine infection or something weird.
It could happen.
No, seriously.
Yeah.
Fast
Like a
food.
tapeworm or something.
Tapeworm, yeah, tapeworm got him.
Yeah, he had a tapeworm like from Dune.
Oh my God! Yeah, it was something got inside of him. What's that, Predator or whatever that
Yeah,
name is?
Tremors.
Tremors. That was a good one.
What's his name? Yeah. Kevin Bacon. Yeah.
Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Remember the worm in Dune that used to come through the sand?
Yeah. That was another one. Yeah, that John B. had that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zombie. Oh my God. And he's retired too. Speaking of which,
Just came out this week,
just
yeah.
retired. 45 years old, I think he was.
Jambi?
Yeah.
Remember Jambi from Pee-wee's Playhouse? Mecca lecca high, Mecca shiny ho.
You do that 3 times in a row?
Yeah.
I know you can.
Uh,
Oh, yeah. No, so.
Nah, it's more of a situation where who do you believe, who don't you believe, and you know what's next with A-Rod. I think that. But you know what? I interviewed Wallace Matthews. He writes for ESPN.com.
Yeah.
I interviewed him last night. I gave him a call, and 2 things he said that struck me right away. I said, well, how big of a story is this going to be, Wallace? He goes, not that big.
Yeah.
Once they realize that he can't play,
Yeah.
no one's going to talk about him anymore.
Yeah.
It's just going to be, oh well, $60 million, big deal.
Yeah.
You can't if he can't play, how much more can you go over it?
Yeah.
He made a good point. I said, you're right. If the guy can't play, what's there to talk about anymore? You know, obviously he is in a situation where no one likes him personally, and now I bet you a lot of people are hoping that he can't really live up to whatever he's going to try to live up to.
Well, I think
What's
he
your
always-
take on it?
I always thought he kind of shot himself in the foot with the whole Derek Jeter being right next to you. You have the face of baseball,
Yeah.
and you're...
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Yeah, the front and the back.
Yeah, right there.
You're wrong. Black sheep of the family.
Right. And
Yeah.
I just thought it was just a kiss of death for him because there's no way
Yeah.
he could have ever lived up to the standards of Jeter, and that's how New York, they judge you.
That's how they
that's
judge
your
them,
barometer
yeah,
right there.
yeah.
That's what you're going to be judged by, and he's right there. And I don't know what you think about it. What's your take?
It's just like we were saying. You get the beautiful, the steed, the thoroughbred's face over here, then he has to lift his tail once in a while around third base and the apples, the road apples. No, I tell you what, though, A-Rod, he just got himself into so much trouble. It's the way that those guys lied to the media, and they sit there and they unequivocally deny that they've ever touched it.
That's exactly.
I swear to my children.
Never did it.
Yeah, just like Palmero, just the way that they just stare into the nation's
he pointed
eye
the
and
fingers
tell 'em.
at the Congress, and he says, I never took steroids.
And he was pretty much doing that. A-Rod was, the same kind of
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
I never thought Congress should have got involved in it, but I think it was baseball's issue and not so much Congress.
Yeah, I know.
I thought that was a little, worry about the nation. I mean,
I know.
Struggling
Chasing
economies, all that
baseball.
stuff, and
When
worried about
politicians got involved with that,
yeah,
it
that
was a joke.
That was
Yes,
a joke.
that was.
Stay out of it. Let's worry about what.
But anyways, about the whole thing, do you forgive him or is the letter sincere?
No, I don't.
You know what? Let him live out a couple more years and see how he acts, see how he looks, see how he performs, if he can. We don't know.
No.
I don't hate the guy. I mean, he's just an athlete that screwed up.
Yeah.
And he's a liar, but it's something everybody's done.
Right.
At some point, you either learn
the
from it or you
Patriots.
don't.
Yeah.
Some people, it's true.
No, it
Took
is.
the idiot
You
pill,
can
and
keep
that's it.
being that kind of person, and then you end up being an a-hole instead of an A-Rod.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what you're going to end up being for your whole life, and maybe he'll straighten out. Some people get punished, and
No, it's true.
it hurts them so bad that they wanted to go a different direction, and it feels better making up for it.
Yeah.
I don't know what he can do, though, to put things back on track, though. I mean, like a lot of people
Perform.
say, if he's just quiet.
That's the only thing.
Yeah.
If he comes out and he plays all right,
Most Yankee fans,
We'll forgive him.
They just want him off the team, though.
Yes.
They're just a
I'm
bad
one of 'em.
taste. Yeah, they're just, you know what? Even if he plays good, I'm not going to always enjoy a home run from him as much as I would from like a good player like an Ichiro or somebody or
Right.
someone that was a fan favorite.
right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's become just
A plague.
Yeah.
He really is.
He's going to be a neutral feeling
On our
for
show,
fans.
I mean to interrupt you, but on our show, we were trying to figure out what actually numbers he'll come up with. I put down like he's going to have, and I take it back, but this is what I threw out: 18 home runs and maybe like 60 RBIs. My co-host, Chris, shout out to Chris, he said 12 home runs and, what did he say, like 40 RBIs, and he says he's not even going to play 50 games. What
I
do
don't
you
think
guys
he will. I don't know how many games he'll play. I don't know. I didn't even see his stats last year. I don't know if he played any of the lower levels or anything like that. I'm sure he has all the equipment he needs to keep his swing up to speed and all that. I don't know. It's going to be.
Do you think he'll show up at all, though? You think he'll play like a third of the games? That's basically with 50 games. It's 1 out of 3, they'll throw
For
him
what
out
the
there.
Yankees are paying for him, I hope he shows up. I mean,
You would
that's,
think,
that's
but
terrible.
I
That's
asked
the problem,
that
is the
question
contract
to-
that's connected there.
I asked that question to Wallace Matthews. I said, well, how long do you think they'll put up with him, He said, well, there's no guarantee he's going to play.
Yeah.
Flat out. They never said he's going to play.
Well, you got a better third baseman on the team.
And they already built everything around the other guy.
Yeah.
They're not counting on him for anything.
Yeah.
So, like I said, the story should go away probably about the 10th game of the year when they realize that either he can play or he can't play. Chances are he can't play.
Probably can't play.
You think about it. If I told you there's a guy coming back, he's 40 years old, he's just had 2 hips operated on, what chance would you give him to play, and have a great year?
Well, the only guy you want to hear about 40 is someone that used to play for the Orioles.
Who's that?
Cal.
Oh, Cal, yeah,
I'm
but
saying
he
when you
didn't,
start getting around that age.
he didn't have 2 hips, though.
No, I'm not saying about injuries. I'm talking about, an older player that you want on your team. You're happy. You're paying attention to what he's doing with the rest of his career. A-Rod's not in that boat.
No, we don't want him out. Go home.
But it was like Jeter last year. Jeter was definitely his his talents have diminished throughout the year. He didn't have the range he used to have.
No.
I mean, his bat was still there when he needed it, but there was times where he struck out where he probably would have done better.
Yeah.
He went out at just the right time.
No, he did.
Yeah, he did.
But I think that the fans were okay with that. If he lost you a game, you wouldn't shun Derek Jeter.
Right.
But if A-Rod comes up and it's the bottom of the ninth and he Ks, they're gonna be booing for like, oh, they won't stop.
He's got that mental thing still. Think about what he's heard over the last so many years when he was allowed to play.
Yeah.
But every stadium, even his own home,
yeah.
things that people said to him, not just heckling and stuff, just terrible things.
Oh,
just rotten
Michael.
things.
Yeah, vile.
Where you have to have thick skin when you're an athlete in general, because when you're a golden boy, someone's going to say, like if you're Troy Aikman in Philadelphia, you don't want to hear that, you know what I mean?
Right.
And you don't, and you go out and perform.
Yeah.
Some of that had to get to him, and even it's still going to happen. I think that's the problem, is mentally he's just not, he's not clean and clear mentally. Like Tiger Woods, the same thing. Every time he screws up, my knee. I'll see you guys in a couple months. It was my knee.
Yeah.
It wasn't what I went through with my wife in the 9-iron. Talk about going downhill after something.
Oh my God!
With the terrible media.
He went right down.
That's
The
all.
9-iron to the back of the head was just too much.
He'll never
But
come
it's
back.
funny how everybody was quiet. Everybody was so quiet about that whole story about Tiger Woods. He had I don't even know how many girls he actually had an affair with.
A couple thousand.
Forget about
There
it.
was, I mean,
Well, he says he's a sex addict.
well,
That's what it was.
But they were all quiet. And it's almost like Bill Cosby right now. Everybody was quiet. One person comes out, and all of a sudden,
out of the woodwork.
But
the floodgates open.
Yeah, right.
Him out to
It's
be a
okay to
martyr
come out
too,
now?
though, you know.
Who do you think?
Well, Tiger Woods. He
Bill
admits
Cosby.
the same thing that like LL Cool J or Ted Nugent comes out and says, about how many women they're with, or Gene Simmons from Kiss or something.
Yeah, but Gene lied about it.
Gene Simmons?
Yeah, they had the lie detector test. He said his wife had him on the radio station.
What, Howard Stern or something?
And he just, I mean, I'm sure it was 1,000 or whatever, but it wasn't like, I don't know what he said. I think Wilt Chamberlain.
Wilt Chamberlain was the
20,000 or something.
Yeah, that's what he said, 20,000.
But even like Simmons' kids, they were, not you. Gene's.
No, my kids too, pretty soon.
Yeah, pretty soon. But
it's all going to come out.
Cats will be clawing at the basement.
No, they were, but even the kids said, well, Dad was with 4,000 women. It would take, all this time. They're like, there's no way. And it was, so they kind of they debunked it before it happened. But
the math had to cut him off.
But
the other thing, too, about A-Rod, just to get finish up on him there, it's funny, all the bad guys that have been in baseball where people have hated, they all had a home, a safe home.
Yeah.
It's like McGuire, they still love him in St. Louis.
They do.
San Francisco, they still love Barry Bonds.
Pete Rose in Cincinnati.
Pete Rose in Cincinnati. Yeah. But how about A-Rod?
No.
He's got no place to lay his
head.
To
Seattle. It's over, Johnny.
Seattle, they hate him. Keep going. That's right. Don't come over here, you bum.
It is over.
It is
over. It's over, Johnny.
Yeah. I guess it's over for A-Rod for real.
It's over.
But again, hey, nothing's happened. He might surprise us. And he just put in a good season.
I don't know. I wouldn't bet
on
that
one. If he does, you should take that one and then
just go
retire.
I hope. If that's all it takes to get rid of him, that's...
If he has a 30-home run year or something in mediocre to him, he should, happily retire and say, I really meant that apology.
But the only thing is, I remember Reggie Jackson once saying that he played I forgot when he went, but he said, when I was 36, he said, I certainly didn't hit 40 home runs anymore. And it seemed like without any kind of enhancing drugs, you're not going to be able to perform to that level.
It wasn't just his performance, though. Not having that, he was psychologically swinging harder and striking out more.
Yeah.
Well, because he was still hitting them.
He was hitting them once in a while.
Yeah. He's had the power. I'm saying.
Well, he still had the
power.
I
think he was forcing.
He just said he didn't. It wasn't as easy as he was when he was younger.
The pitchers got better too.
Yeah. No, a lot of old guys said that. I didn't get better when I got older.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why Barry Bonds was such a joke. That's why McGuire and so all that was a joke. Because how can you get better when you get older at that age, once you cross the 35 or
And
whatever.
wasn't even close to the numbers, were they? I mean,
Yeah.
Barry Bonds would have been a Hall of Famer regardless, because I think he had the 50-50, 50 stolen bases, 50 home runs in one year or something like that.
Well, he had 500, I think.
Yeah,
that's what he was.
Yeah,
No,
400
and 500.
Think he'll get snubbed forever?
I don't know.
What's funny, I was talking to...
Asterisks.
Because the media didn't like him either. So, he was kind of... He's going to have a tough road to hoe.
No one's going to cheer for him.
Yeah, nobody's... He wasn't one of the media
It's just so weird how these guys became these super villains in the last couple of years. And instead of looking so forward to seeing them, everybody was just like feeling terrible for him if you like.
I can ask you guys this because you guys are athletes. I heard this from Jim Leland. He said some athletes like it when people don't like them. It gets them going, makes them play harder. He thinks Barry Bonds was that type of guy.
He would have to.
Would you know of any athletes that were like that?
Like goons, like Bob Probert, guys in the NHL. That's who used to feed off of it.
They feed off of people not liking them.
Like Phil McCracken. Remember him from Flapshot? Phil McCracken. I'll hook your eye out.
I'll get your eye out.
Dr. Hook.
Dr.
Hook. He liked it.
Yeah.
And Oglethorpe. Remember Ogie Oglethorpe with the big afro?
Yeah.
He used to love it.
Then the Hanson brothers, too. Remember them?
Oh, yeah.
They're playing with cars.
Everybody in that movie loved him. The fans hated him. Yeah.
Some people do, though. Yeah, no, it is true.
They're putting on the foil.
Yeah, what's these guys doing?
And in wrestling, I know it's fake, but still, it's still the
that must
guys
get them
sometimes
going.
seem like they,
So
they
he liked
actually
that.
love that, yeah.
He said, and that's what Jim Leland said. Said he liked to have people not like him. He loved that edge.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know.
Bobby Bonilla was the same way.
Bobby Bonilla always played with an edge.
Nobody really liked. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a great player. He had his moments, but people didn't like him. So.
Didn't
We're talking about ex-Pirates. What about? Remember guys we used to like Willie Stargell and Dave Parker?
Pops.
That was nice.
Yeah, Pops was good. Yeah.
Those are excellent. So.
Everybody liked them.
Oh yeah. Roberto Clemente.
Oh yeah.
They had some good guys back then. That's what those teams were pretty decent.
Oh yeah, that was the last Pirate team to win a World Series was in '79. Wow. That was with Pop Stargell.
Yeah, they played Detroit, right?
No, they played the Orioles. They were ahead 3-1.
Wait,
I would have liked it better.
I remember Alan Trammell. They played against them.
What, in '85?
No, I'm sorry. Was it? No.
Orioles
85
won
was
83.
84 was the Tigers.
That's right.
84 was the Tigers. Yeah, that's when they had Whitaker and Trammell.
Yeah.
And they had Kirk Gibson hit the home run off of Gossage.
Yep. I just saw that today. It was rerunning that. Did you see that today? Yeah. He was like, no, I can do it. I can get it by him.
Right. Yeah. He don't want to walk you. Remember that one?
Yeah.
That was the whole thing. Yeah.
And that was the old Sparky and the.
Sparky was the manager for the Tigers.
Yeah.
One of the only guys to ever win World
divisions.
Series in both leagues.
I met him up in Southington. Real nice guy.
Oh, really?
Really super nice guy. Yeah. So.
Sparky Anderson.
Yep.
Yeah. What was his real name? I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know that one.
I think it was Aaron. It was Aaron.
It was Mr. Anderson.
It was Mr. That's right. No, his real name was Mrs. That's why he changed it to Sparky.
Remember Mr. Anderson got lost in Home Labyrinth?
No, I don't remember that.
Beavis and Butthead.
Oh.
Hey, you guys!
Is that from Do America?
No, it could have been. It was Beavis and Butthead around that time.
I love the movie Do America. I just thought that was so
Wasn't
funny.
it great?
Oh, yeah. Out of all of them, I wasn't a big Beavis and Butthead fan, but my brother-in-law got me into that one. I loved it.
It's funny to go back and watch it now, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I get you pretty good. What's the guy's name that makes that? I can't remember his name, but he also does King of the Hill.
He did both, right?
Yeah.
I don't even know.
I know it. It's on the
Tip of your
my
tongue.
Yeah. Remember, he was on Letterman, and what the Letterman said to him, he said, anyone could have done what you did. He goes, yeah, but I did it.
I'll tell you what, it's not really true. That guy has a talent. He did both of those voices at the same exact time, and you could hear almost them talking over each other with the laughing going back and forth, the high laugh, the low laugh.
Yeah.
It was really, it was actually some serious talent when it came from what he did behind the scenes.
Oh, I mean, those are his
remember his name.
voices, not just his drawings?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's
He did
pretty
both.
awesome.
He would do the voices together at the same time when they were having a conversation. He wouldn't just do one and tape the other.
Yeah. Oh, wow. I didn't know that. That's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. So who's going to win the Academy Awards since we're bouncing around here?
Academy Awards.
And the
I would say
nominations
Bradley
are...
Cooper,
I would
What?
say Bradley Cooper.
except
but
for
then
one problem. Did you see that movie?
Yeah, the baby.
I don't get that.
I don't
How
get
could
it
you have
either.
such an epic movie that's supposed to be so great and you're carrying around a plastic baby with his arms hanging out like this?
I heard about that. Yeah.
I'm sorry to ruin it for people that didn't notice it, but... No, I like Bradley
No,
Cooper. He's a great
can't-
actor.
You really can't watch that movie and
Yeah.
not notice that was a plastic baby.
Anybody that has
Yeah.
a kid,
Yeah.
your baby's arms don't flop down like that unless there's something wrong.
So
Yeah.
it can't win Best Picture of the Year because of that.
I don't
Makes
know.
it hard, huh?
I think it's such a compelling
Huh.
story. It will win
Yeah,
Best Picture,
yeah.
but I think
Yeah. I won't
for
be
that
against it
reason
if
it
he
will.
does.
But I don't know if the baby will keep him out of the.
But who would you say comes in second if it's not American Sniper?
Brad Pitt for Fury.
Really?
No.
I didn't see that.
That's just one of his mediocre, everyday average movies he does all the time.
Yeah. Not a big Brad Pitt fan.
He's a
What's
Pitt.
Selma's up there, right?
But they were saying that Selma, there was something about Selma too that it didn't portray the whole take of the whole.
It took a different spin.
Yeah,
it
there was
didn't
something
really-
about it. It wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't
Wasn't spot
true.
on.
Yeah, it wasn't
No,
spot
Tell you
on.
what,
yeah.
though. Let me tell you what.
What?
That movie,
Huh.
that's what I've seen
Selma?
lately. Yeah, I really felt that movie. You know, as far as the experience,
Yeah.
just more of the racism. You know, you just go back and see movies like that, and it strikes a nerve.
Yeah.
And,
Little
and
different
certain
than
things
our
bother
people.
you so
Yeah.
much, no
Yeah.
matter what color you are. But to learn the way that stuff, how it really goes down, or how it was when we weren't
Oh
around.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I would have marched right across that bridge with them. That's how inspiring that movie was. So
Right.
that's my vote for a movie of the year.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
not actor or actress of the
Right.
year, but they were really good too. Oprah doesn't play around when she invests money on a film. You know what I mean?
No,
No.
she does a good job.
Yeah.
She's
Hold
always
back.
a good producer.
Yeah, no, that was...
And you can't get a better guy than Dr. Luther King either. I mean, he was
No.
no.
no,
I mean,
everybody
for-
wanted to hear his story.
for inspirations and
And,
for his story. Yeah, you got.
Yeah, his story
I mean, you
is
got to be on board
incredible.
for that one. So that's another one.
I think
But as soon as you brought that up, I said, how did I forget about that one? It was recent
Right.
feelings I just had that I should have.
They came out almost
remembered.
back to back or whatever. They weren't too far behind each other.
No.
So-
I don't know. I'm lost now. I don't know what other movies there are. I'm sure there's more, but
Into the Storm.
Into the
Into the Storm.
It was a cheesy tornado movie.
B title.
It was, no, you know what? It wasn't that bad, but it was like a crappy version of Twister.
Oh,
Yeah.
horrible.
You know, they should put a couple of sharks in there and have Sharknado.
3.
Sharknado. There you go.
Sharknado
We missed
3.
out
We're
on
coming
that.
back. Yeah, they'll make another. They'll make a third one of those. It's like
Did
a cult.
they
Costner
should
do a
quit that
movie that
crap.
got nominated or no?
Which one?
Kevin Costner. Did he do one or none
He
of
did
his?
do one, but I don't know if he was. But that came out. I think
That was the sports one, right, with the
2015. Oh, draft
He
day.
did 3 in a row.
draft day, and then he did
He
another
did 3
one
in a row,
though.
black and white, or
Black and white.
black or white, the NFL one,
Oh,
and then
yeah,
the new one
black
with the
and
runners.
Yeah, the new one. That's called McFarlane.
Yeah.
But
Mick
that's
something.
this year, right?
I thought
Yeah.
black and white was this year too.
I think he just did 3 quickies. I think the
Oh.
NFL one was the oldest one.
The
Yeah,
draft
but
day.
that
Draft
didn't
room or
hit.
whatever.
That didn't make it. I don't know what other ones there are. Was there any kid ones that the screen that we don't know? We're forgetting.
I don't know.
Despicable Me too.
Kevin Costner's been a busy beaver.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Even he did an
Yeah.
action film too right before that. Remember? He's done like 5 films in 2 years or something crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did
I
like
think he
CIA.
has.
He was an ex-CIA guy. I
Yeah.
forgot the name. I got it.
And
On.
he was quiet for a long time where you didn't see much Kevin Costner.
No,
Right.
he was Superman's dad.
Right.
No, I mean,
He was Superman's dad.
and how good was
Man
that?
of Steel.
Man of Steel flopped pretty good, right?
No, it was great.
I liked the movie, but I heard it wasn't
Who
a
was
big
Man of
box
Steel?
office hit.
Kevin Costner was actually Clark Kent.
I remember it.
I mean, not Clark Kent. Jonathan Kent. He was Jonathan Kent in the movie.
I
yeah.
saw that part of
Oh,
the
I
movie.
didn't
fell
see that.
asleep.
Well,
I
they
missed
didn't
that.
love it, but I think
Oh.
I think what happened was it came out too close to Batman, and the Batman series, because those
Yeah.
were so phenomenal that saw that movie and you say, wow, Man of Steel was pretty good, but it wasn't up to par with Batman.
I think people kind of got unhappy with Kevin after he went from like great movies like Field of Dreams and then started going into Waterworld.
Well, I killed him. Waterworld just about drowned the poor guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And it was just...
Field of Dreams is phenomenal, though.
That's
Still,
incredible.
It's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I watch it
Dances
every time
with
it's
Wolves.
on.
He's done some good movies.
No, that's another one.
Yeah.
The Postman was kind of
That
almost
was
as
terrible.
good. Dances with Wolves is great.
Yeah. I like The
Yeah.
Bodyguard. I don't know about you.
Oh, I was
pretty
going to
good.
say Whitney Houston.
I liked The Bodyguard a
No,
lot.
I
I
liked
thought it
all
was a
his
good
movies.
movie. Yeah.
That was pretty
Even
good.
Waterworld, I watched it. It wasn't like it was. It's just not like his great ones.
No.
Oh, wait a minute, we're forgetting about Tin Cup.
Tin Cup,
For the Love of
Durham.
the Game.
Yeah, Love of the Game was really
Was
good.
that the one with Kelly? What's her name? Preston.
Yes.
Where he was the pitcher and he pitched the perfect
Yeah,
game.
yeah.
That was a great movie.
That was an awesome
Yeah.
movie.
For a movie that was so drawn out about, 7 innings of baseball and
I know.
going back and forth with you in the past and the future, past and the future. It was made pretty well.
That was
JFK?
awesome.
There you go.
He did JFK. Remember him?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. He did do
That was,
JFK.
This guy was pretty good, this Costner dude.
He wasn't too bad. He
We got to
wasn't
check
too
him
bad
out.
at all. Yeah. Check out Kevin Costner. He did a movie Dragonfly, so that was pretty good. One of the smaller ones, yeah. But he did that one. It was a good movie. I don't know.
Yeah. And Costner's,
He said
oh, he
quite
produced, not produced, he directed some of them too, didn't he?
some
he
of them
just
he did.
didn't act.
Yeah,
Yeah,
some of
yeah,
them
he
did.
just didn't act. Thinking, yeah.
Hopefully Waterworld wasn't the one he directed.
No, he produced that. He took a bath in that.
Oh, that was brutal. Yeah.
His hair was wet the whole
Oh.
time.
He was all wet after that.
Yeah.
And at
That
the
was too
time,
bad.
that had the I guess,
Biggest bust of money.
Oh,
yeah,
big
that was
time.
the biggest
yeah.
bust in money. It was terrible.
Try to make a
That was
film
a-
out in the ocean.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what they were trying to do.
I think it was like $200 million to make that movie. It was god awful.
It was like Titanic. Titanic was up there, James Cameron and all that. But
Yeah.
they won an Academy Award.
Yeah, a little
with
bit
that.
different in the box office though.
Oh, they did a little
Yeah,
better on that
Titanic
one.
was great.
And they had a
Titanic was
re-release. They'll never re-release Waterworld.
No, no chance.
Not ever.
No way.
No.
I'd rather see Wayne's World.
Wayne's World did better.
Speaking of Wayne's World, do you guys see the 40th anniversary of Saturday Night Live?
No, I did not.
I didn't see it.
No.
It's weird because a lot of people think it was on a Sunday night, but what a great show.
I heard it
Except
was
for the
long. It was like
performers.
3 hours, wasn't it?
Yeah. Everybody came back that was alive. And
Not
they-
Chevy Chase.
Wow.
he was there.
Was he there?
Chevy walked out and he said something little and short, but he came out.
Did he? I
Eddie
didn't know
Murphy, Chevy, I saw it.
Because he was banned from Saturday
He was
Night.
on there.
Yeah,
He
that's
walked
pretty
right
good.
out down the middle of the band.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good to see him back.
The
Did
Eddie
anybody-
Murphy came back.
Good funny skits or anything
Yeah,
like that?
a couple here and there, brand new ones.
Yeah.
Saddam and Sandberg and Sandler.
Oh, yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
They did a little something that was funny.
The
That
Jeopardy, I heard, was one of the... Everybody was roaring about that one.
Yeah,
The
the
Celebrity
Beyonce one.
Jeopardy,
Jeopardy,
yeah. Because they
Yeah.
really make the celebrities look stupid.
the only
Yeah.
thing that was a flop.
Burt Reynolds and
The only thing that stunk about it was Kanye West.
He was there.
Yeah, he was there and he performed.
Oh.
I guess he was already slated to perform before he pulled that stunt.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's just classless.
That is
And he's done it
classless.
before with Taylor Swift. I mean,
Yeah.
you know what? If that's his form of art, what he did on Saturday Night Live, he laid on the stage upside down, looking at the camera to sing a song, laying on his back.
Oh.
And there was 2 other performers up there with him, standing up.
Yeah.
So he laid there and he rolled around like he was, I don't know.
The next coming of Christ.
I don't know what he
Oh,
was.
it was horrible.
It was a
It's
terrible performance.
Yeah.
Not
It's
artistic, and whatever it was, he was overdoing it like too much. It's like Lady Gaga wearing meat suits trying to outdo Madonna.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I'm
yeah.
going to show that I can lay down and on the stage. And I mean, Tony Braxton did better coming out in bare feet. You know what I mean?
Tony Braxton's got a great voice.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
someone that
she's
comes out and
good.
does something
Yeah.
little. That's a great performance. It did
Yeah.
something different that you don't see singers do.
Right.
You know, almost as great as the Chili Peppers when they come out with socks on and nothing else.
Oh, yeah.
One sock. Winging it. Now that's a performance and that's art.
That is
Then they
different.
wore the socks across Abbey Road and took a picture.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a great shot, that poster.
Yeah.
Chili Peppers,
Flea.
the best. I love that band so much. That's my favorite. Well,
Striper.
no. You know, you're going back 25 years. I've evolved slightly.
No, I know you
know what's
have, but-
funny is the Chili Peppers have been around for 29 years.
They really
now.
have been. They've
Yeah.
been a
Wow.
long
I never
time.
thought
Yeah.
about that.
Wow.
How long that they've been around.
Yeah, but some of these bands can make it, and it's weird. But you listen to some songs that are actually classics, and you
Oh,
hear
yeah.
like Aerosmith and Dream On, and you can listen to that song. It doesn't matter what
you get
generation.
depressed every time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, you do. But you hear
But
certain songs.
they evolved though. Then they came out with
Right.
Pump and
They did Run
all the-
DMC. They did the
Right, they did a little-
Walk
Yeah,
Away,
they
yeah.
kind of let
they
their stuff
reinvented
get
themselves
played.
with new
Yeah.
albums.
Well, I think that's what you
Well,
have to do.
covers.
I
They
think
let
you
the
do reinvent
covers
yourself,
play
but-
out. The Stones did that a little bit too
Yeah.
with their covers. They let them just let people take them and play them out.
Well, it gets the next generation in there.
Yeah, it
Now,
gets the next
speaking of
generation.
Kanye, did you see what somebody tweeted after? Because he does that song now with Paul McCartney, and somebody tweeted. They said, "Oh, you know, this Paul McCartney guy, this Kanye is going to make him a rock star," and we were like,
Oh, my God.
he's not even in the same stratosphere as Paul
Stratosphere.
McCartney. Oh, it's not even
I'll tell you
close.
one thing.
No,
though, I
All
don't
he
want-
is
I don't want
he's
to
from
sound like-
Jay-Z's underwear.
That's all he is. He's
I mean,
terrible.
give me a break. And
Oh,
Jay-Z's
I mean-
from Puffy's underwear.
That's it.
And Puffy stinks too because he's the one that killed Biggie Smalls. And,
Yeah.
and that's how he's making millions of dollars selling vodka and crappy clothes from Sean John.
Oh,
Yeah.
When it was FUBU was the real
FUBU.
deal.
you have
No,
to
you
Yeah,
think
I
about
hate
the
Puffy.
Beatles, though. You talk about the Beatles and Paul McCartney and all
Yeah.
that. Kids nowadays have no idea how big the Beatles were.
No, I mean
You
they
couldn't
were.
even, because everything was totally different.
Yeah,
That's how dominant they
it
were.
was like Elvis and the
Yeah,
Beatles.
they
and
were
they
just-
dominated.
they didn't just take over the music industry. It took over the country.
Yeah, it
That's
changed.
how big the Beatles were.
Yeah. And
Everybody
I think
knew
these
the
guys
Beatles.
are all looking for that new, I guess, sound or new
It was
whatever.
good, but I
to
was still
reinvent
liking
themselves.
Jimi Hendrix and James Brown too, you know?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, a
but
lot
those
of
men
that stuff.
performers. But if you look at all the old performers and you hear them in concert, they sound like they should,
Right.
as opposed to some of these people that are digitally mastered and they don't
Oh,
sound
yeah,
like
they
that.
don't
Right, plus
sound
they were
like
still
it.
inventing new things back then.
Yeah.
Everything's
Yeah.
been refried
Right.
and refried and reheated in a microwave.
Well, not everybody's sampling
Yeah.
everybody's music. I mean,
Yeah.
they're
That's
going
what
back
they're
to it.
doing.
Yeah,
more,
taking
more
the music,
effects on your
the
voice
original.
to hide that you have no talent.
Well,
Yeah.
exactly.
That's what
They could
Cher
do
did
that.
when she made her comeback, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Cher made a big
But
thing
she
like
sounded
that.
good in
yeah.
concert, because I saw her in concert, and she actually sounded pretty good.
She sounded digital.
Yeah, but she went digital. But she sang her old stuff. She was pretty good. It was good. I have to say, she wasn't bad.
Well, look at Cher on South Park. Look that one up on YouTube, and you'll see what I mean about using the effects on your voice.
Oh, God.
So, Dancing with the Stars, huh? What's that going to be now? What was the date again? March 6th?
March 6th. Yeah.
Friday night. Not this Friday,
Yeah.
next Friday.
Yeah,
Omni Hotel.
that is true.
Ronald McDonald House.
I've been down the Omni before.
Yeah, that's where they have the
Nice, huh?
Walter
Didn't you
Camp.
work
No, yeah, Walter Camp
Walter
and
Camp
the.
is there. They do a lot of events.
They do a
there,
lot
yeah.
of things there. Yeah.
Didn't they have the dinner that you went to with Bobby Valentine? Wasn't it?
I think he was there, but the one I had was in West Haven.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they're all over the place. So yeah, Omni
Yeah.
always does a good show.
Yeah.
All that stuff, but
Boy, I'll tell you, what a concept that is, though. That Ronald McDonald House. That's great.
how it is to help kids out and the needy kids. That's what you
Yeah,
want. You know,
yeah.
that's what it's all about, is giving back, and
Yeah.
like you do with coaching or anything like that, it's always giving back. So
For the kids.
for the kids.
For the kids.
You know what? I was just thinking that the other night. We were interviewing coaches for the Vikings this year, and each coach was, you know,
Did you
telling
get
about what they have to offer and answering questions about how they coach.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about it too. Each of those kids that you actually have been with for years, you know, and even though coaches I had when I was really small, not just high school and stuff, you remember those guys forever, and you
Yeah.
see them around the next 20, 30
Yeah.
years, and you're like, you know, you don't have any clue how much you really affect their life in a good way or a bad way.
No, it's
Right,
true.
yeah.
You can
And
influence.
I love it when a kid's face lights up when he sees me. I'll be at the grocery store. Hey, Mom, there's Coach Aaron. And he comes running over, Coach. You know what I mean? I love that stuff because he's just a little guy right now.
Yeah.
He'll remember that when he comes back from college.
Absolutely.
And sees old Coach Aaron down at the local something.
Yeah.
And he'll still have good. He'll tell me what's going on,
Yeah.
and this is on a scale of 100 different kids from whether
Yeah.
it was baseball for 7,
Right.
8 years or football for 7, 8 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You run into them
Or more now, it's 9 or 10 years worth of that.
You see what
Yeah.
you've done in their life. It is. It's true.
Yeah, I noticed that too. I coach basketball, and the kids are growing up, and I see kids in the gym now or whatever that I coached, and they're like, "Hey, Coach, how you doing?"
Mhm.
It's like you don't think of yourself as coach, but to them that's who you were.
No.
Yeah.
I like to, individually you really get to know each kid, for what they were like and what makes them happy and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm kind of a clown, and they probably like that a little bit, where I make them laugh as much as I make them work hard.
Yeah.
But it's maybe a different approach.
Yeah.
But,
But you need that, because you don't want all the same...
I'd much rather have the kids say,
I mean,
Coach Aaron was really funny, and
yeah,
he'd probably start saying some of the things I said to him back then. That's part of that language.
You were talking about how you do the makeup for them, like just the eye black. But I mean, but you do those, and I think that's something that will always, they'll be, wow, I had this Coach Aaron when he was back in the day, and I was...
I'm going to bring a picture of the whole team done up in cool eye black next week.
Yeah, absolutely. But everybody will want to see that. That's pretty cool.
It looks like Halloween.
Because you are a good artist. I will say that. So.
That's right. I used to be able to mold the clay and knock the kids out in class. What are you laughing at?
Liar.
Dunk. Aaron, get out.
I just remember the hand coming through the door, grabbing you by the back of your hair. That was awesome. Please don't
Every
tell my
other
grandmother.
day.
Please don't tell my grandmother.
Please don't tell my grandmother.
Bill Gannon made it. That's what I got. I got in trouble for it. So yeah. We had a lot of fun in school, but a lot of fun in art class. I didn't, because I couldn't draw. But
I helped him cheat.
Yeah.
I'd sketch it out for him.
He'd sketch it. Because
Nice.
I remember my first drawing where we were supposed to do this plant, and it just looked like a fish, so I made a fish out of it. And the teacher was like, it's not a bad fish. And he goes, I wanted that plant over there. And then he kind of figured out that I couldn't draw it all.
And I drew a plant over the fish and made it look like it was in an aquarium.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just to show me up.
Yeah. Nice.
And then he'd be sketching. I still have the Dan Marino. I like to bring that in, because I still have a picture of Dan Marino, because that was my idol back then. I always loved Dan Marino. And he's like, I'll draw you a picture of him. He drew this in seconds, and it's like, it's terrible.
It stinks. I don't draw as much as I used to. Now I just design like things, like wall units or bars or wine cellars. I do architecture with stuff like that. Or design kitchens.
Right.
So you really put artistic flow into that.
Yeah. Wow.
That makes people happy too.
Should have got into architecture when you.
I wanted to.
Yeah.
You know what stinks? My guidance counselor. What was his name?
Which one?
Ed Sheehan back then.
Well, I had Mrs. Javagi, and then there was Mrs. Mannion.
No, it was a guy. The guidance counselor up there has told me, you don't want to get into architecture because we don't have computer-aided, but you don't have a computer background. We don't have CAD here. I'm like, well, that's what I want to go to college for. He said, well, it's not really a good industry to get into now, right around now. This is the end of the 80s.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I was like, okay. Okay, then I'll just go take business and fall asleep at my desk.
Yeah.
Oh,
Drooling on
wow.
my books every day, waking up.
Oh, wow.
Every day I drew on my books in college and just waste my time.
That's
I should have
it.
went for architecture.
Should have went for architecture.
I started working on my own, just like that.
Boom.
Yeah.
Right out of the gates.
Second year in school. And then for 5 years after college, guess who was working for me? All my buddies that stayed in school trying to get a certain degree, and they're still not working with that degree.
What their degree?
No, not one of them.
Yeah.
That's the problem with nowadays.
Yeah.
That's what happens. But,
Yeah.
well, we're going to come to that time where thanks again for joining in. Double A joined us a little later tonight.
It's over, Johnny?
It's pretty much over. Yeah.
It's over. No, it's over.
But we want to say, got John Spinato, Aaron Simmons. I'm Bill Gannon. We wish you guys all a great weekend. We'll catch you again next week. Thanks again for joining in.
Peace.
All right. Later.